everyone. This week's YouTube video is on the theme of deprivation. You can see over my shoulder there my daughter who's escaping from the madhouse to have a little bit of peace and quiet. And you'll hear the crunch, 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 crunch in the background. Hold up what you're eating, Ellie. She's eating a bag of crisps. And it's very, very apt that this week's YouTube video is about deprivation and how we manage feeling deprived and the difficult feelings that could potentially come up from that. So I could be sat here, I'm being very, very careful in the run up to my holiday next week to it's making me chuckle inside, hearing the crunch 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 in the background all the time. I could be feeling really, really resentful right now that Ellie's sat there eating crisps when I'm not going to eat them, because I have very much my eye set on next week when we go on holiday. I don't need to lose any weight. I'm a very healthy BMI. My BMI's must be around I don't know, 22 at the moment, so I don't need to lose any more weight, but I am losing a little bit more weight. I'm aiming to lose sort of 5 to 7 pounds just to cover the holiday, because I like being the weight I am now, and I want to stay this weight. But when I go away on holiday, I also want to enjoy eating a little bit more than I normally would, and the glass of wine, etc. So one of the ways I am managing it, I don't usually manage it this way, by the way. I usually manage it by dealing with it afterwards and just getting straight onto Cambridge Weight Plan Step 2, knocking it on the head. Couple of weeks, whatever weight I've gained has gone, and great, I'm back in control. That is what maintenance is all about. Not that I was out of control on holiday, because it's a choice that I took to eat more. But this time round, because we're going away to Italy for 3 weeks, I'm very conscious that an awful lot of damage could be done to my weight in that time. I'm going to try and be a little bit more careful on this holiday and not just grump my way through the whole 3 weeks. So I'm going to be a lot more mindful on this holiday, but I'm certainly not going to be mindful of having to be careful every single day, because I just don't want to. So I was starting to feel a bit anxious about that, and so I felt that the best way to manage that anxiety, rather than just put my head in the sand and deal with it and feel even more anxious at the end of my 3 weeks, and actually have it even spoil my holiday and feel anxious over my holiday, I needed to put a plan in place and deal with that now. And so my plan is to, I'm on step 2 at the moment. I've been on it for the last 5 days, and I'm intending doing it for another 5 days till we go away. So it'll be 10 days in total, hoping to have lost, about half a stone by then. That is the way I'm managing my anxiety, so that I'm not going to worry too much when I'm on holiday, because I know I've already shifted a nice chunk, and then whatever else I've got left at the end of the holiday to shift to get me back down to the BMI that I am now, great, fantastic. That'll be easy peasy to do, and it won't feel too overwhelming to do. Now, the fact that I'm on step 2, Cambridge Weight Plan, what I could be feeling right now, particularly seeing as I'm not being driven by particularly negative emotions about myself, I feel absolutely great at the moment, and have done for the 5 years I've been maintaining. So I'm not driven by a desire to get this weight off by running away from feeling awful or hating the clothes that I've got, or being self-conscious or not being able to do anything. I don't feel that at all. I feel the complete opposite. I feel really great in my clothes, and the freedom I have physically and emotionally now is just wonderful since I've lost my 7.5 stone. So it would be very easy for me, therefore, to feel a little bit resentful and a little bit deprived, because I can't have what I normally have, and I don't have those negative feelings driving me. So how am I managing all of that sense of deprivation? And I think it comes back to how I also managed to lose my 7.5 stone, is that I didn't focus on the times when I felt deprived, or rather when I did find myself thinking about poor me, as I'm sat here listening to Ellie munching, and every crisp that I hear crunching in her mouth, I'm feeling, oh, that sounds really nice, and I'd love to have some. Of course I'd love to have some crisps, of course I would. But what I'm doing instead, as soon as I catch myself feeling that way, I stop myself in my tracks and I go, stop it, no, don't go down that victim route of feeling deprived and feeling poor me. Immediately I stop it and I make myself focus on next Wednesday when we go away on holiday and how I'm going to feel. And that means so much more to me. I don't want to start my holiday, and in fact have my holiday, worrying and feeling anxious about the impact of what the holiday eating is going to entail and result for me, and what the consequences will be for me. And that feeling that I'm relaxed and proud of myself, and that nothing's going to spoil this holiday, no worries about what weight's going on is going to spoil this holiday, that means more to me than eating those crisps right now. And so that's how I'm doing it. And so as soon as I catch myself feeling deprived, I stop it in its tracks and I reframe it for myself into something that is much more what I want, which is true. I do want to feel fantastic and anxiety free on my holiday, much more than I want the crisps. Hope that helps.